If you've ever been exposed to the YouTube algorithm, in all of its gurning horror, chances are you've stumbled across videos that look like this. You know the ones. For the sake of this video, I'll call them walk-in channels. People with cameras and the legs to get them places, documenting the daily happenings of people and places all over the world. There are a lot of walk-in channels out there. Thousands upon thousands of hours of footage of cameras floating wordlessly through far-flung climates like renegade curiosity rovers, cataloguing the non-events of places you never knew existed. From the comfort of your phone, you can be transported to the other side of the planet in an instant. Want to see what the weather is like in New York? How about the traffic in Hong Kong? When it comes to nosing around the affairs of foreigners, there's never been a better time and place than right here and right now on YouTube. So in this video, I'm just gonna talk about walk-in channels, why I watch them, what that means, and why I think you should watch them too. I love walk-in channels. Just like the Jackson Hole livestream or That Girl's Eternal Homework session, they're the perfect background viewing for a brain at half attention. You don't have to worry about continuity or messaging. There's no need to look up a plot summary when you space out and get caught looking at your phone for 10 minutes. You can just throw them on the TV and move on with your day, getting the occasional free dopamine hit every time you spot a cat or a passerby looks too deeply into the camera lens. For the most part, these videos and live streams don't command attention so much as they offer it. Perfect for when you're working from home and looking for literally anything to do that isn't the job you paid for. I've been watching a lot of walk-in channels lately. Whether I'm staring blankly at my employer spreadsheets or the incriminating deluge of language learning apps on my phone, channels like these have become a gentle background hum in my daily life. And I think it's because they remind me so much of slow TV. I've talked a lot about slow TV on this channel. Norwegian TV that broadcasts long, unedited footage of boat rides and knitting. Actually, I've talked about it so much that I've said that exact sentence before. The TV shows that broadcast long, unedited footage of boat rides and knitting. If you're not familiar, slow TV is entertainment that depicts long journeys playing out in real time, or footage of everyday people performing repetitive tasks, usually with a cosy, life-affirming veneer. Despite the lack of editing, these aren't stuffy academic documents of places or processes, but hand-picked painterly excursions, like the B-roll on a travel agency's advert stretched to feature length. The general idea is that it's entertainment that asks you to slow down and take a breather. The technological equivalent of idly gazing out of the window of a coffee shop. It's kind of like mindfulness, only you don't get signed up to the Avon catalogue on the other side. Here in the UK, Channel 4 introduced the idea of slow TV to a general audience a few years back, purchasing extended footage of train and boat rides to empower a new generation of midday nappers, and they received a fair bit of press along the way. Tim Previtt has done a great documentary on the history of slow TV here on YouTube, and I think his collection of talking heads put in a great argument for why slow TV is so alluring.
It's impossible to explain the beauty and the clarity of watching, of just actually letting something be, of watching it moment by moment.
In surprising ways, the ordinary can turn out to be very interesting if you look closely at it, which slow TV gives you a really nice chance to do.
But if traditional satellite television is just dabbling with slow TV, the internet is running away with it. Channel 4 spent God knows how much on slow content and ended up with a couple of hours of boat rides. Meanwhile, walk-in channels are churning out similar videos for YouTube at an unfathomable rate. As we speak, Google has entire data centers struggling under the weight of shaky phone footage of the world's urban centers. Walks in the city, pop travel, virtual Japan. Just type the word walk into the YouTube search bar and the list goes on and on. In these walk-in channels, slow TV has found a cozy new home on YouTube, and if the view counts are anything to go by, it isn't going away anytime soon. Really, slow TV and YouTube are the perfect couple. Just like YouTube, slow TV has been characterized as the anti-TV. a rejection of traditional broadcast media. Generations of men yelling at clouds have characterised TV as getting faster and louder over the years, and in that sense, slow TV almost feels like a counter-argument, an invitation to stop and smell the roses, as much as you can smell roses through a screen. But in a piece in The New Yorker, Nathan Heller points out that though slow TV appears to reach back to simpler times, it's in many ways the realisation of 21st century media technology relying for its full effect on footage that's high definition, organic and continuous. And that's kind of the core contradiction at the heart of slow content, especially on YouTube. As a format, it's all about letting go and losing yourself in a moment, of relaxing and meditating, but paradoxically delivered in a non-stop, on-demand format where the next walk is only a recommendation away, at the whim of your attention span. So walking channels are simultaneously the peak of slow TV, but also potentially its death. The comparatively wholesome vibes of slow TV's origins on Norwegian TV are a far cry from the monetized content farms churning out walking content on a daily basis. As Heller puts so succinctly, the slow movement has nurtured some fast careers. All of this is to say that YouTube is a new frontier for slow TV. And not all walk-in channels are created equal. They all have the promise of slow TV, the relaxed vibes, the meditation, the opportunity for introspection, but as with most things on YouTube, there's a lot of content with a capital C out there. Luckily, I do feel like the mandated vibes of walkabout channels have preserved them from some of the more perverse aspects of YouTube culture. You're not likely to find many shoutouts for Skillshare or World of Tanks, for example, specifically because of the pin they would stick in the unedited bubble. But the fact remains that there are a lot of channels out there with rented cameras and dollar signs in their eyes, indiscriminately recording the world's dullest streets in the hopes of carving out a share of slow TV's prestige. But I don't like to focus on the negative on this channel. So there's one walk-in channel that I want to recommend today. And that's mainly because I've had it on loop for the last month and I think Stockholm Syndrome is beginning to set in. I'm talking about Rambalac. So at this point, I suppose it's time I came clean. Like a lot of nerdy video creators of a certain age, I'm a bit of a Japanophile. If you were feeling uncharitable, especially if you'd watched my last video, you might even call me a weeb. Ever since I first watched Jonathan Ross's Japanorama on BBC Three back in the early 2000s, I've been obsessed with Japan and its lasagna stack of layered subcultures and aesthetics. And as a result, this channel is like catnip for me. Rambalac is a walk-in channel that focuses solely on Japan. They mostly stick to urban centres, although occasionally they'll venture a little further out into the sticks, meaning that over the channel's 1,000 plus videos, you've got a pretty comprehensive cross-section of Japan's various attractions, from the LCD-soaked streets of its capital to the snow-capped temple gates of some of its most remote mountains. Rambalac's videos really encapsulate the appeal of Japan, but also of YouTube walk-in channels in general. Technically, it's flawless. The visuals are recorded in pristine 4K and with full directional audio, so you can sit in your living room and let the sights and sounds of Osaka wash over you like the ghost juice from the Ark of the Covenant. In many ways, what's happening now on YouTube far exceeds the fidelity of broadcast slow TV. Crank up the resolution and the HDR, and Channel 4's canal ride looks prehistoric by comparison. Like the best of slow TV though, this is still just a carefully curated window into another part of the world. Leave it on as a screensaver and get on with your day. Use it as a background while you obsessively refresh holiday options on Google Flights, so give it your full attention and let your mind wander. Slow TV like this is rewarding however you approach it. What sets Rambalac apart though is that there's a sense of personality in the movement. And trust me, this is the kind of insane statement only someone who spent the last month with walk-in channels on could make. But Rambalak isn't a ghostly document of a camera haunting the streets of Tokyo, but it feels a bit more authored. Most YouTube walk-in channels are all about aesthetic. Neon lights and moody lo-fi, drifting between pedestrian crossings and artfully panning around Starbucks shop windows. And this is what traditional slow TV is like too. There's a clinical efficiency in the way that these cameras cut through their surroundings, like we're receiving a piggyback ride from the T100. Rambalak, though, is the kind of channel that'll book it down the street to hit the next crossing light. It's the kind of channel that'll get the zoomies going up temple steps, that makes a point of stopping at swings and slides, and that'll stop to negotiate passage with stray cats. By the standards of slow TV, Rambalak might actually be sacrilege. This kind of white-knuckle action threatens to undermine the whole format. Occasionally you might even get glimpses of the person behind the camera in shop windows and traffic mirrors, a Kaiser Sose-style reveal that shakes up the foundations of the walk-in channel genre. I think it's this subtle level of personality that's endeared me so much to Rambalak's walk-in videos. There's a verisimilitude, a sense of reality that comes from the little imperfections. It reminds me that these picturesque walks are real places that a real person moved through not too long ago. Because behind all of the meditation and feel-goodery, these are still documents of a time and place. There's value here. Look back over history, and some of the most important documents are ones that portray the everyday. If various stinky, bearded men throughout history hadn't put pen to paper and hand to camera, we wouldn't know about Roman dentistry or the history of spoons. These videos are valuable time capsules, moments in time captured and ready to be dissected by the Martians when they land on Earth in 200 years and pick through the radioactive rubble. We're lucky to live in an era where it's so easy to catalogue the minutiae of our everyday lives, and these walkabout videos are just doing their small part in preserving the things that define us. I guess it's just the icing on top that we can also derive value from them in the here and now, even if just as something to put on while you idly scroll through Twitter. In the end, just like Air albums or the Hitachi wand before them, walk-in channels on YouTube are the latest in a long line of inventions designed to relax our bodies and expand our minds. If you've never engaged with slow TV, whether because you weren't aware of it or just because you hate Norwegians, there's never been a better time than now, thanks to walk-in channels like Rambalak. Next time you're sitting at home marvelling at how strong and sexy you are for watching my YouTube channel, consider putting on one of these videos. Here on YouTube, we're living in a golden age of slow entertainment, and although it might defeat the premise a bit, it's available whenever and however you want it. So whether you're an armchair tourist, historian, or Zen master in waiting, chances are you'll find something worth sticking around for.